Okay, we are back with our live coverage of the Bob Veras Insiders Forum in the Big Easy, New Orleans. And kicking us off today, one of my favorite guests and also a conference person himself, Joel Bruckenstein. Joel, thanks for joining us.
Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure indeed. And I should also mention he's the president of T3, Technology Tools for Today.
That is correct.
All right, so off camera, Joel and I were talking about what we're going to talk about, and I think we're going to talk about conferences. And,
Let's do it.
And so this is my first time at Bob's conference, Bob Veras, of course. I've been at yours before, T3. I'll be there again this coming, is it March?
March 9th through 12th in the Big Easy.
Oh, back in the Big Easy. Fantastic. All right, good. So I've learned my way around, so now I have an even better time next time. So here's what I was saying off camera, and let's share this with the audience. I go to a lot of conferences now. We're probably taking goRIA on location to probably 11 conferences a year at this point. And every conference is great in its own way, has a different vibe. One thing I noticed about Bob's conference here and your conference at T3 is the sense of community, perhaps more so than some of these other mega conferences. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, I mean, I think both Bob and I have been doing this for a long time, and one of our goals when we started out with conferences was to build a community. Right there, really, when we started T3, there was no community for people who were really interested in wealth tech. They kind of always got pushed to the side, if you will, and they got the worst speaking slots at major conferences. So we started T3 to kind of address that. And I think Bob has done very much the same thing with practice management. You know, he found that there was a gap in the knowledge base, really wanted to do more and go deeper on practice management. And this is the place where you know, if T3 is where you go for technology, this is where you go for cutting edge practice management.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's hard for me to imagine conferences giving technology a tertiary slot. It just doesn't even make any sense.
Now it doesn't, but if you think back for 23 years when we started,
yeah,
technology was like an afterthought.
Yeah, without question. So now, what's going to be next, do you think, for conferences? What's next? Well, let's talk about yours first. So yours is in March, and give me the dates one more time.
March 9th through 12th in New Orleans.
Yep, the Big Easy, and goRIA will be there for the second time, and looking forward to it already. What do you have new going on with your conference this year?
Well, so first of all, you know, let me just address conferences in general, right? Yeah. You know, for years there were these general conferences that tried to do everything and be everything to anybody, and I think those are the conferences these days that are really struggling. The generalist conferences. I think the ones that you see repeat people coming year after year to Bob's and mine are more specialized, and we're addressing an audience that really cares about whatever that topic is, and they come back because they know it's changing all the time, and you need to stay on top of things. So, look, there's a lot going on in technology. You may have noticed that,
yeah,
right, with AI and just everything that's going on in tech. The pace of change has never been greater. And so, yes, people need to come more often and they need to learn. And I'm going to give you an exclusive, Chuck.
All right.
We are announcing this week AI University at T3.
Oh, baby.
So everybody is addressing AI in some way, shape, or form at every conference. You hear it here, it's a buzzword. But what does it really mean? And how do you really use it?
Yeah.
AI University is going to be hands-on sessions with some of the best and brightest in the industry, teaching advisors actually how to use AI, real live use cases that they can take back to their offices and use immediately. Nobody's doing that, and nobody has the faculty that we have. And that's going to be starting on, well, it'll be on the 9th of March.
Okay. You heard it here first on goRIA. Breaking news.
That is breaking news. Nobody knows.
If I did more production editing, we would have some sort of flashing. So pretend you have a flashing thing saying breaking news, but we're not going to do that.
Okay.
But it is awesome. And that brings me to something else I want to say about conferences. And this, I think, is for a lot of conferences in our wealth management space, maybe particularly with yours and Bob's, because it is such a community vibe here. And I stopped saying how surprised I am, because I'm no longer surprised, on how open advisors are to share information. You think we're all competitors, right? We're all going after clients, and we are. But the flow of information amongst firms is really amazing, yeah?
Yeah, I would agree, and I think, you know, everybody benefits from it. That's why it happens when you build a community, because the knowledge base that's in the room is so much more powerful than any one firm's knowledge base. And yes, everybody has some proprietary information or intellectual property that they're not going to share, but I would agree that in general, People like to share ideas. They like to learn from their peers, and it makes the industry stronger.
I think it does. And I think it's not so much we're competing against each other, but I think it's creating a smaller subset of really good advisors versus the bad advisors.
Yeah, correct. I mean, there's hundreds of thousands of people that call themselves advisors. There's not hundreds of thousands of really good fiduciary advisory firms out there.
Amen to that. And I'll give a little plug to a webinar I'm doing with Knut Rodstad, who I'm sure you probably
Of
know.
course.
And we will be talking, not surprisingly, about fiduciary care. So that should be a good one.
What a surprise. Him talking about fiduciary.
Indeed. All right, so Bob, give us some closing thoughts here on the last couple of minutes that we have with this segment.
Well, like I said, I think the evolution of technology is just happening so rapidly now. You really, really, really need to stay up on things or you're going to be left behind. I'm going to be talking about things in my session tomorrow, new AI technologies that literally 2 months ago didn't exist. I mean, that's how fast it's happening. So if you blink, you miss it.
Yeah.
And somebody in every firm that wants to grow, and we're talking here and at every conference about the lack of organic growth in the industry, if you want to grow organically, you really need to embrace these new technologies, but in a way that makes sense for your firm.
All right, well, that's a great place to put a pin in it. And Bob will be talking to you later today. Joel,
Yes.
Let's meet back here in March.
Please.
It's a date. I'll see you then.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you. All right, so that's just kicking off our second day of coverage. We have 4 more segments to go, and we are going to close out today at the end of the sessions with Bob Veras himself. So stay tuned for that, as well as everyone else in between. We'll see you soon. Thanks for joining us.